Probably receiving a pop-up in your screen in just a few seconds. All right. So for those of you who are watching us on YouTube, if you're randomly falling to into this video, this is a talk and talk English immersion. And here we have like an hour, 40 minutes to speak in English and practice our English skills. So if you are curious about how to learn English by talking to random people about some random topic, go to talkandtalk.com.br. Okay? Let's start, guys. Today we're talking about leisure time and what you guys do on the weekends. So, Pedro, in the weekends, do you prefer relaxing at home or going out during your free time? Why?
So, most of my weekends I try to relax and take some brief for the next start the another week because sometimes during the week I feel like a real tired with so much demands to do, so much tasks. So I try in my weekends try to relax and pass some time with my family and try to do some things like during the week I can do. So I try to that, but sometimes I like to go out to hang out with my friends. But most of the weekends I try to relax. I prefer. I'm not a kind of like go to out like every week. It's more sporadic.
Nice, nice. I am just like you. Most of the weekends I like to stay at home, but sometimes, very rarely, I like to go out. Joaquin, what about you?
About you, about me, I would say that we prefer to spend the weekends at home normally, because in some weekends, for example, after lunch. My wife and I, we saw going outside to have coffee, for example, and we go also for a park, one park, for example, to spend some time. But I would say nowadays. Normally, we spend more our free time at home. I have here a little garden around my house. Then more or less we spend more or less the morning here uh, making some works here in the garden. But many years ago when my children was a teenager, in that time, okay, in many weekends, because of them they make pressure for us. Then in some weekends, okay, we need to go outside to the city to take a trip, to take a walk. In that time, more or less 2, 3 times a month, we went outside to spend some time. But nowadays, my wife and I, we prefer to stay at home and relaxing here in our house.
Oh, nice. Staying at home, taking care of the garden. I also like that. Sydney, what about you?
Yeah, I'd say I follow the theme like you guys. I prefer to relax at home, especially because when I start the weekends, I started already exhausted about the the week, the work week, the busy. But well, Uh, Now talking about my wife, she prefers to go out. She thinks differently about me because yeah, she loves to go out. She for different restaurants. We did that when we married, I think 10 years ago. But in those days, the things is a little different, especially the price of the things. I remember one beer 10 years ago was about 6, 7 reais. Now it could reach 18, 20 reais. And even the portion of the meat with fries that now it's very expensive and the amount of that portion is less than before. So if you decide to go out and we are very hungry, it could be a bad decision because we will expend a lot of money to, well, I think one portion for two people uh, couldn't be enough. So we need to ask two portions, and each portion uh, could spend, I don't know, 60, 70 reais. So in nowadays, to go out and to spend 200 reais, it's very possible. Yeah. And of course, now we have a son, a child, so another things that make the things a little more difficult to do. We need to some people to take care of him. For example, my mother or my mother-in-law. And the but we don't like to do that when we go out. Most of the time, we prefer to take him with us and choose some place with a playground. Yes. So that's it.
Yes, you're absolutely right. Things got a lot more expensive throughout the years. Nowadays, if I want to go out with my boyfriend, we have to spend like 200 reais. And this is in a small city here in Viçosa because Belo Horizonte is big, so it's more expensive. It's not easy, guys. Let's go to question number 2. Do you guys have like any weekends traditions, like family brunches or evening movie nights? Joaquim.
Yes, in my family, we have a tradition. Two times a month, 3 times. We invite daughter or son to come here in our house to or to have lunch or in other occasions in the afternoon to have tea and instead dinner we have a brunch. You understand? Because the dinner is more later.
That's
The
nice.
the branch is the tea time, more or less in the afternoon, during the afternoon. And then yes, for example, yesterday, uh, my daughter was here in my house to have tea, and we have a brunch, ni lunch, ni dinner. It's a middle position.
Nice.
We think we are thinking in the next week, in the next weekend, uh, my son, we invite my son also to come here, but to have lunch in the next weekend. And more or less, at least two times a month we join together here in my house to have lunch or brunches.
That's nice. Do you guys live near each other? Do you live near your children?
My daughter live 10 kilometers away
Oh,
from
it's
me.
it's close.
Yeah, it's close. It's close. My son 30 kilometers away. Not
That's
so far away
wonderful.
also. Not so
Yes,
far.
it's good to live near the family, to have lunches during the weekend. I like that. It's good to be close to the family. Pedro, what about you? Do you have any traditions with your family or just your tradition?
So I remember when I was young and I lived in the same city of my grandparents. We have the tradition like every Sunday in the weekends we pass the time together, like the have a lunch together. Uh, and it was very good because like I have a big family. My grandfather and my grandmother has 80, 80, 80, 80, 80 sons, and each sons has like for example two or three, and I have a aunt that has five children, so it's a big family and we reunited all together in the same place. It was very good. But nowadays I live far away from them. So in my family specifically, we have the tradition like to try to have all 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 parts of the conversations like together and spend the weekend together. And I think he has some traditional is like to sleep after the lunch because it's a lazy day and you would try to relax and we sleep together. Like for example, each one you get in your bed, you sleep a little bit and come back, watch your TV. That is.
Nice, nice. I like that tradition. I also follow the nap after the lunch. Sydney, what about you?
As for me, in my family, we have a tradition every Saturday night. We combine something one Saturday night in my house, in my home. So I called my father, my mother, my brother, my sister-in-law, my niece to go to come there. And the another Saturday night, my brother did something. I think make something in his house. And the most of the time, traditionally, we have barbecues together, especially in the garage of my home. And the about some another things, for example, uh, in the Father's Day, Mother's Day, we I think we combine something together. For example, a breakfast together, and every family uh, take something. For example, bread of cheese, some cake, something, and then we do. I think we make that thing together. Another thing is that it was in the past, but the family of my wife, it's a big family in about 112, 140 people. And most of the people, they live nearby us. And back then, every weekend, we had a kind of party in the house of some people. Yeah. So, but in those days, I studied and worked, and I was so tired to participate in that event. But I did it as much as possible since my wife and we were dating. I think we have boyfriend and girlfriend together, and I tried to, I think, accompany her in that event. I think so, and but I think that fits that kind of thing traditionally we do, and we did, and we continue to every weekend.
I like that tradition of meeting family. My family is very small, so I'm not very in touch with my uncles and aunts. So it's just me, my mom, and my dad. So I like this big family tradition. So sorry. My boyfriend's family are also big, like your wife's sibling. They get together almost every weekend. So sometimes I go to their parties and it's very fun. All right, guys. Question number 3. Do you guys usually plan your weekends in advance or do you prefer to be spontaneous? Joaquim.
Isso to me?
Tô te ouvindo. I am listening.
Okay. Well, about me, it depends. It depends of the occasions. Sometimes we plan weekends in advance. I live here near Lisbon, but my homeland is in the province. Then because we belong another province, then more or less one time a month, one time in 2 months, we go there. Then in that situation, we plan the weekend in advance. But in the other situation, sometimes we plan the weekend spontaneously. Sometimes we solve in the one day in advance, for example, to go out for a fast trip, for example, and then in that situation we plan the weekend. Or the little trip, for example, one little trip, spontaneously, but normally we plan always with some days in advance, more or less.
That's nice. You go with the flow. And what do you guys do on the province when you go from Lisbon to the province where is your homeland? Do you have family there?
Yes, we have all our family live in the province.
Oh, nice.
I start living here after my military service because I start working here in Lisbon. I worked in Portuguese Airlines. Then when I get married, I start living here in the not in Lisbon, but near of Lisbon, and my wife is she is also the province from the same village, from the same
Oh, that's
village.
nice.
Yeah,
Did you guys meet there?
It's a complicated story. It's a complicated story. I knew, I know her. I know her in one Easter day, that we spent the day in our homeland, and because I was in Lisbon, I didn't knew her. Then I meet her for the first time in that day, Easter day, and
Right.
we start in that occasion. We start uh, our love, our love, and okay. After that, because uh, her father, my father-in-law, they worked also here in Lisbon. They worked also here in Lisbon. Then after that, we start meeting our meetings here in Lisbon. And after 4 years, when I finished my military service in the Navy. I made my military service in the Navy. I get the job, and after we get married.
That's nice. That's so beautiful.
Yeah.
So you met in a holiday in your province. You didn't live in your province anymore. You live in Lisbon, and in that holiday, in Easter day, you go to your province and met her, right?
Yes, yes.
Nice, nice.
Hey, we have all our family there. Nowadays, my parents died. In this moment, I'm not go there many times because I have some family, but they are also older families also. Then now I'm not there. I don't go there many times. In the past, when my parents were alive, I went there many times. But in this moment, we don't go there many times in this moment. But
Yes, of course.
we have there a little farm there in the province. Because of that, we need to go there sometimes to go some works in the farm. It's because we go there more or less now.
Nice, nice. Thank you, Joaquin. Oh, sorry, guys. I monopolizei the conversation, but I was curious about Joaquin's story with his wife. Let's continue. Pedro, do you usually plan your weekends or do you prefer to be spontaneous?
So I prefer to be more spontaneous, just flow the flux. Because like for example, sometimes during the week we have like a calendar routine, and sometimes it's kind of boring. So in the weekends we try to get more flux, more spontaneous. But sometimes we have some compromises on the weekends too, so we have to get know about that. But sometimes too, we just wake up and they say, let's go to waterfall or some park or something like that, and we go. But I prefer to be more spontaneous because like we have like a routine during the week, so on the weekend we try to be more chill and relax about that things.
I'm just like you. Sometimes I have to plan, but I also prefer to be spontaneous. Sydney, what about you?
For me, most of the case, we most of the weekends we prefer to do it spontaneously. But for example, when we plan to go out for some restaurants, we need to plan it in advance because some restaurants is far away from my home and we need to get there early and try not to waste time in the wait list or face a long line, especially because the children. But like an accountant, I prefer to plan it in advance because for me it's important to think previously about the things. And for example, when we decide to make something here in my home, I prefer to buy the things previously and to prepare the things. For example, to buy the beer and put it in the refrigerator, make it perfect to and for example to prepare some meat, buy not on the meat but the some sauce to make that meat in a good way, in a different way. My wife, some moments she loves to cook, in other moments she hates because she's very tired about the week. And but some moment as well we order some pizza or hamburger. But to be honest, I don't like to eat that kind of things because I feel like full, very full, and my night in some moment I have some problems to sleep. I have some nightmares about that food, that junk food. But that's it.
I'm just like you. I cannot eat like a big burger, otherwise I get nightmares. I have to eat like 6 p.m. or 7 p.m. and sleep at midnight to make the digestion. All right, guys, let's talk about your favorite guys outdoor activity on the weekends. Joaquin, do you have a favorite activity other than taking care of your garden? Because I know you like it.
Yes, yes. Well, in the past, when I had the childrens with us, my daughter and my son, in the weekends we went many times outside, outdoor, essentially in the good weather. For example, when the weather is nice, is good. We had the habit to go outside to make a picnic because as you know, more or less the children they like very much the beach, and we live here, not far away from the beach. Then in many weekends, especially with good weather, we in the Sundays we went in the morning at the beach, and more or less um, in the afternoon. We went to a pine, and we have a picnic because they love to have a picnic in the camping, and when where there is many trees, and they like also to stay there to play, uh, to play many things. Then they love to spend some time in the country, and it's more or less where we go more times But nowadays is different. Is different. More or less nowadays we spend our weekends here in the house, in our house.
Nice, nice. Pedro, what about you? Do you have a favorite outdoor activity?
So I really like to get know about more waterfalls because when I was younger, I go to waterfalls like each weekend, and the but it's like the same. But nowadays I return to the region of Belo Horizonte, and near from here we have like so much options. So if I had the opportunity, I like to explore more new spots about waterfalls and in nature, and I like this type of activities. I have the opportunity like I think 3 months ago. I don't remember like the exactly time, but I had the opportunity to make a camping in Espírito Santo, and it was a very good outdoor activity because it's a different because I had to camping, have to trekking. It's not easy, but I like to that experience, and if I had the opportunity, I will go again and try new activities about camping, about some trail. I like that too.
Where did you camp in Espírito Santo?
Uh, I'm not very good about names, but I will make a real quick search here. But continue with THC days, and I will say next.
All right, all right. Thank you, Pedro. Sydney, what about you? What's your favorite outdoor activity?
Yes, since I most of the weekend I need to do my domestic chores. I need to work out some hours. I don't have much time, but I try to take my son and my niece to some place like big playground or go to the swim club or country club. And well, but I would like to have more time for to do something. For example, hiking or cycling or walking. There is a large avenue nearby my home, maybe 1 minute by car. And many of the people, there are a lot of people who do not different activities there, group activities, individual activities like running or walking. And I would like to participate in some sports with them. But yeah, I'd like to. I need to organize my time, especially with my job, my work, and I think in the future it will be possible to do that things more, to participate in things more actively.
I am telling you this for a long time, but you have to make some time for you. You are always complaining that you don't have time, Sydney. Vou puxar sua orelha.
Yeah, you remember. I've always said that things.
I am dreaming with the day that Sydney is gonna come here and said that he rests during the whole weekend and now he has time to have another kid. Just kidding, but I hope you have time to relax.
Thank you.
All right, guys, let's go to question number 5. 5. Have you guys recently tried a new activity on the weekend or on your time off? Pedro, do you have a recent activity that you try or that you want to try?
Yes, I searched here the name of the mountain. The name is the Pico da Bandeira. I didn't remember now, but I will say about this experience because I liked it. When I was younger, I had the opportunity near from I lived to do that camping, but that experience was different because it was 2 day of the trail. We came like at 6 p.m. in the camping. We go up like for 1 hour and we come to the camping area. during the camp area, we don't have the electricity. We don't have hot water, so we have to do like your meals like just from a fogareiro, and it was a difficult in the beginning, but it was nice. But we have like so much luck because like Pico da Bandeira was very cold, and the day that we go, it's not so much cold. It is a cold, but it's not so much cold because like we cold saw the sun rising there in the top of the pico, and the some guides like we find when we go up say to us, today it's so much hot, and everybody like three t-shirts, and oh my gosh, was incredible. But the next day of the trip, we saw some news about like the day after they go that we go, it's like the all of parts of water is like freezing. It's like we got the exactly day, because if we go to other day, we I don't know what will gonna happen. But I liked this kind of activities, and I like to explore like new things that I never tried to do.
You are very brave because Pico da Bandeira for me is something that I only hear about and I don't want to go because I've heard people say that it's very cold. It's beautiful, but you have this poor structure. You don't have hot water. That is not for me, guys. I like my hot water and my comfortable bed. Joaquin, what about you? Have you recently tried some new activity, or do you want to try some new activity in your time off?
Yes, more recently, one month ago, in the last months, I knew three new countries, because we have our annual trip last month. We visited for 10 years, three countries in the north of Europe, uh, Croatia, Bosnia, and Slovenia. And then our more recently places that and in this case we need to prepare the trip with some time in advance. In this case, you need sometimes in advance to prepare the trip. Yeah, more or less, every year we made a trip abroad, and in this year we visit three countries that we we didn't knew these countries yet, and it's good. It's very good.
It was only you and your wife, or did you go with your children?
No, we made this trip. How to say? We made part in a group of people, like
Nice.
excursions. And all the people that made part of the trip, we are friends. We know all the people know each other. It's a trip organized by our church
Oh,
here in the
that's
village
nice.
where I live. Then
And
they treat the organized of the church. They treat They teach all you need to do the trip. And we have not any preoccupation with the trip. Yeah,
Oh, that's nice. I like
it's very
that.
nice.
And which of the three countries is your favorite?
Croatia, essential for the sightseeings that you can to observe, to appreciate. We visit the one park park that made part of the UNESCO. Then it's interesting. Slovenia, we liked also. There are also many sightseeings to do. Croatia, Bosnia is a little different. Is a little different because we can observe still many how to say many things provoked by the war, the civil war that they enfrent in the 19th decade, nos anos 90. Then today we can still observe in many cities the consequence of the war. Yes, still.
That's sad. But thank you for the tips. I'm gonna write it down here about Croatia. I don't know a lot of people that go to this country, so most of people in Brazil that I know go to Paris, go to, I don't know, Italy, but not Croatia.
Yes,
Alright.
the last year we went to Italy. Last year we went to Italy last year.
Nice.
It's nice also.
All right. Thank you, Joaquin. Sydney, what about you? Do you have any recently activities that uh I forgot that you
Yeah,
recently tried? Sorry.
that's okay, no problem. I would say that well, recently I've tried to play some board games with my son. Uh, board and the puzzle games. I think, yeah, in his birthday party, the guests gave him a lot of that kind of games, and now he's very curious to understand how the game function, the works, and we've tried to play that games, and he's very good in that games. I feel so happy when I'm playing it for him. Especially, I can see his improvement about how to recognize the number of the dados and how to play it to get something in that game. And uh, well, I remember back then we had that kind of games. I, my brother and we played it together in some board days, like rainy days. And for us, it's so we were very we compete each other very much, and we bet something. But and the yeah, I think it's very good to at least to maintain our, I think to make our ties stronger, and to have that connection with each other. And in the future, remember that moments would be very, I think, pleasure for us. So that's it.
That's nice. I love board games. I still play with my friends. Adult games, but also children games. We like to get together on the weekends and make sushi and play board games. It's very fun.
Yeah, it sounds good. Excellent.
Yes. All right, guys. So we have like 2 minutes to end this meeting. So I'm gonna end it right now because we don't have time for another question. Thank you guys for being with me today. Have a nice week. Have a nice weekends. And that's it. I'll see you guys some other time.